I think Neal's just done a fantastic job with this development.
Neal put in 29 ponds, so a lot of people do have access to ponds. We've got what we call 6 preserve areas that nobody can touch, and in the wintertime especially, the wildlife is just entertaining all winter long. It's just fabulous.
We had the product right, we had it priced correctly, there was a place for families. Now about 5 years later, we're sold out well in advance of the time we projected. So it's a success story for Neal, a success story for the people in our community, and I'm glad we did it. It was fun and interesting and challenging, and we created what I call Habitat for Humanity. Good places for people to live.
It's an integral part of how Neal develops our communities. It's a big standard for our communities to take the natural elements, conserve them, enhance them, and then add the amenities that people love, the recreation centers, the parks, the play equipment, and mesh the two together so you create a wonderful living environment for people.
I came down here to look actually for investment property, but I found a lot on one of the lakes here and fell in love with it and went back up, retired, sold my house there, and moved here. I just love the area.
Central Park was a tomato field, so leaving it precisely as we found it really wasn't that good a thing at all, because it had tons and tons of fertilizer, it had pesticides under the plastic, it had herbicides, and of course it had drainage runoff into the Braden River, which is the water supply for the city of Bradenton.
It had an ag ditch through it. It had maybe 3 trees worth saving on the whole property. The wetlands were a mess because they had been ditched and they were full of harmful exotics.
So I would say, because we detain the stormwater, we retain it, we put it in newly created wetlands, the water quality from Central Park is far better than it ever was before we were there.
We went in and planted numerous trees and bushes and landscape and water plants, rehabilitated all the wetlands, and added some topography to the land, some gently rolling hills, and created a beautiful environment.
I like the way he's designed the roads, which are very unique, at least in some of the developments I've looked at, with what we call street islands that are nicely landscaped. It just makes streets wider and houses do not feel one on top of another.
We created a variety of housing styles. I think there were 6 different neighborhoods within Central Park, and that afforded varying lifestyles for a larger amount of people.
Happy birthday!
We had families all the way up to empty nesters and retirees who found Central Park their perfect lifestyle.
Just a good mix of people. You have people from all over the country. The park itself is fantastic. I'm a dog lover. You have a dog park here, the 2 dog parks, and the neighborhood meshes well together, it really does.
We wanted it to be a prominent feature within the community that people could live around and embrace. And now when you go back, about 5:36 every day after work, a lot of people gather at the park. It's a big social area. It's really gratifying.
Nobody has a park like this, and the community uses it just about every night. So it's a joy to watch families come into the splash park, walk around the park, playing wiffle ball and passing footballs around. It's a well-used community.